Hello, hi everyone. So we are continuing with the strategic management introduction, and yes, sir, what we are doing is we'll just check from my notes what we have done. The first one we have completed is what is strategy. We have completed what is strategy, and coming down we have understood what is the features of strategy, and then all coming down we have also understood what are characteristics of strategy, right? So those are long term direction, trying to achieve some good advantage likely to affect the operational decision, major resource changes, it is a stretching of an organization resources and competence, it capitalizes them, matching the resources and activities, and so consequences of strategy done. Now coming down we will also, we have read what is management, also we have understood from where it has come. Nomos, Greek word, it is very different. It is not like a hat, it is a philosophical concept, it is a subjective concept. It changes from one person to another, from one enterprise to another enterprise, yes. And then we also understood this particular thing, which is division of three parts of management, right? Management and tactics. Now coming down, let's understand what is strategic management. What is strategic management? It is being defined into many different types of strategic managers, I mean the economists or the philosophers. So there's some which I have kept. The first one which I like to say is about this: a stream of objectives, a stream of decision and actions to which it leads to the development of an effective strategy or the strategies to help achieve objectives. So strategic management is considered as either a decision making or a planning or a set of activities related to formulation and implementation of strategies to achieve the organizational goals. So in short, what happens, a strategic management is only adopted, and strategies made from first chapter which we have read, that is strategic management introduction. From intro it goes to analysis, and then it goes to planning, and then it goes to implementation and formulation. So for this particular stage, the last stage, we are doing the strategies, we are doing the different types of strategies. Got it? So it includes understanding the strategic position of an organization and the choices for the future, and making the organization go into proper pathway. Got it? So strategies also include a consideration of ensuring the strategies are working in practice. Strategic position is concerned with the impact on strategy on an external environment, and also internal resources and competencies on the stakeholders. Okay, stakeholders include the shareholders, the other people also. Okay, the strategic choices involve understanding the underlying basis for future strategy at both the corporate as well as business level. Strategy choices must be made in such way that there is a proper combination of understanding, and the future strategies should have both corporate and the business level. Got it? So this was all about what is strategic management. Now, as we know, we have the subject called strategic management and operation management. When these are the two subjects of our paper of 100 marks, so what happens is we need to understand what is the difference between strategic management and operation management. So this can be a question which can come to you: the difference between strategic management and operation management. So to make it clear, I just have noted down some points. So let's read those points. Before this, these are some points, and I have made it into a Yeah, so here we have strategic management and operation management. The strategic management versus operation management. First one is strategic management is uncertain. Okay, operation management is routinized. It is all certain and very routinized in a proper way, day to day, daily routine type of thing. Okay, because it's related to operations. Strategic management is very complex, and complexity, because of complexity there can be issues, there can be lateness, and there can be complications even. Operation management is an operational issue and it goes in one flow. Okay, or a strategic management is organization wide, and operation management is operation wide, I mean department wise or specific departments only. Then coming to the strategic management is related to the long term implications, and operation management is related to the short term implications. So these, this is a very important, I think, important. This is important. I think 2 to 3 marks can come for exam point of view. Okay, so please make a note or do a screenshot. I hope you all are with me. Strategic management, operation management, we are done. Now let's understand what is the difference between a strategy and a competitive advantage. So first thing, we have understood what is strategy. Strategy means what? It's a game plan. It is a long-term blueprint, right? It is proactive, partly reactive in nature, right? It has a blend of both the things. But what is competitive advantage? Competitive advantage speaks purely about, there are competitors who are taking an advantage over the other in the market. Got it? There are competitors who are taking an advantage over the other in the market. Now, for example, what has happened is, this is one producer. He is producing pens. He's producing what? He's producing pens. Okay, so now what has happened is, he's producing pens, and these pens are called link pens. Link pens, you remember there are pens called link pens. Here, these, there are another competitors who are another, they are also doing pens. They are called cello gripper pens. Cello gripper pens, these are very famous pens in the time of 1999, around, until now also they are famous. Okay, they're old vintage and good ones. Okay, so now what has happened, this Mr. Producer has done a production of link pens, and he does, for one packet he sells it for rupees 90. He sells it for rupees 90. Now there is Mr. Competitors, there is another competitors who do the production of cello gripper pen. Okay, cello gripper pen, which is approximately like link pens only, like it has the same features. Now they are doing the sale of one packet for rupees 100. Okay, so now what comes is, consistently and always, a when a see, I'll show you what happens is, consistently, it is like it is giving always same quality in rupees 90, or better quality or coaching in rupees 100. So competitive advantage speaks about, have two important points. What is the important points? Giving same quality in the same price, or giving better quality into a little better or a higher price. Like for example, and the other example is, for example, there is two coaching centers. The first coaching center and the second coaching center, both are of, they actually give coaching for 12th class or 11th class students. Now, for the whole 12th class or 11th class course, the smart coaching center takes 40,000. But whereas there comes another coaching center nearby, which is Victory Coaching Center, which takes 36,000 and gives gives the same coaching. Now you have to check that the teaching is persistent, the quality is persistent, and the way everything is persistent, and then this victory coaching center is giving in a lesser price, then it is taking a competitive advantage over the smart coaching center. Got it? So these are the very important points. What are the important points is um, that same quality, same quality, same quality, okay. And then another one is less price, less price, same quality. That is rupees 36,000. This one is rupees 40,000. I hope you have understood what is competitive advantage. Okay, that's a important. Like maybe a 1 mark or 2 marks can come. Okay, now coming down, difference between strategic management and operational management, we are done. Okay, so I hope you have understood. Make a note of it. Now coming to the advantages of strategic management. Advantages of strategic management. Okay, now what is this advantages of strategy? As we all know, every particular thing which we study has an advantage or a disadvantage. Now we have understood what is strategy, we have understood what is management differently. We also understood when it is a combination of strategy and management, strategic management, how it is applied and what so features we understood, characteristics we understood. Now we are going into the advantages of strategic management, which says some important points. That is, first one is it, this strategic management advantage first is it discharges board's responsibility. Means it says that the board of the directors will delegate the work, it will delegate its responsibility to the lower authorities, and then make sure that whether the work is done properly or not. See, that's what it's saying. It discharges board's responsibility. Okay, first one is done. Second, forces and objective assessment. What is forces and objective assessment? It says that the senior management, like the CFO, CEO, and the head of the departments or head of the total company should make sure that, ensure that they are checking whether the strategies which they have thought have been implemented or not. How they can check? They can only check when they actually sit once, think on it, and just take a break from the day to day life and come back to the mood where the board and the senior management people come and think on whether their future on the strategies which they have thought is correct or not. If they're not, then they should also implement some strategies on that particular way or path of the operations or management, right? Very good. Provides a framework for decision making. What is provides a framework for decision making? Firstly, framework means what? Framework means a guideline, a boundary, a something which actually gives you a view about what should be done, a scope should be done, what actually the employees should be done, what should be the operational decisions which should be implemented by the employees or the people in making a successful organization. Got it? Next comes is supports understanding and buy-ins. Supports understandings and buy-ins means what? It makes sure it makes proper strategies. The higher authorities people or the board or the staff, anyone, like if strategies are being implemented in the organization, it should involve the employees. It should make sure that every employee, every staff has a participation in the strategic decision or the making. Why? Because if they are putting if they are putting the involvement of the employees and doing things, then it is easy for the employees to actually grasp and then communicate, and they will actually be one of the important part of the strategic decision. Or else they will feel that organization is putting some rules and regulations and they cannot work in a better way. Okay, next comes enga- enables measurement of progress. What is this? Measurement of progress means strategy is one of the important way, it is one of the important path, it is one of the important start where it actually measures the growth. It measures the growth, it puts objectives, it brings out different ways of targets, and it is first, it is one of the critical point of bringing on success into our organization. Okay, next comes provides an organizational perspective. Organizational perspective, you all know that a strategic, it brings a development or relationship between the strategies and the whole, between the employees and the organization, as well as it makes sure that if there are any issues in the operational ways, that are also being cleared. It is a coordination or interconnection between one department to another department. It is all together, it is interrelated decisions which are taken. Okay, not that just like operation management is just for a particular department. No, it is for one, it's all together as an organization. So just repeat what are the points. The first point is discharge board responsibility, where what happens, the board of the directors or the higher authorities discharge their responsibility, they delegate their responsibilities so that the lower authorities, also the lower level of the organization, also start working properly, right? Next comes it forces an objective assessment. Forces an objective assessment means it makes sure that the senior management people take a break from their day-to-day routine, come back, sit and think about whether the strategies or the objectives which they had made are actually going on path or not. If not, then they should recollect, they should rewind, they should put more strategies, they should add strategic managers and many other things. Okay, next, provides a framework for decision making. What is it? Provides framework means it gives a guideline, it gives a base, it gives a scope, it gives you a clear boundaries whether these decisions should be done, whether what should be done, whether the executive director should do this, whether the manager should do this, whether the lower line people should do this. Everything it gives you a proper clear cut view. Supports the understanding and buy-ins. It involves the employees in such way and the staff in such way, and then communicates the strategies to be adopted. Then it takes it takes a higher edge. It takes a benefit and it takes a positiveness from the employees and then goes ahead. Enables measurement of progress, where what happens, strategy is one of the most important. It is a fuel for going ahead, and it is a first critical path for going ahead and reaching the goal. Okay, next comes provides an organizational perspective, where what happens, it is integrated, it integrates all the things, all departments and all the operations into one, and then goes ahead, not into one particular department wise, but it is organizational perspective. Okay, now coming to the disadvantages of strategic management. As we all know, advantages are there, means disadvantages will surely be there. So let's come and start with the disadvantages. What are those disadvantages? Disadvantages are, first thing is, the future does not unfold as anticipated. As we know that future is not easy and it cannot be anticipated. Future is never been predicted, it cannot be anticipated. You never know tomorrow is there or not, kal ho na ho. As we all know, COVID is a situation which has clearly bring on to all our faces, all our families, that you have to live life the single day. You never know what happens the next day. So in the same way, we should always plan for our better. And if there is no plan, no strategy, then then maybe you won't be a market leader, or there won't be a proper leader which will exist in your market. So it says, so this point is very much important. That's why So it is saying planning is far better than no plan or strategy, right? Next comes is strategic management is very complex, very very expensive in nature. Not that everyone can afford it, you me cannot afford it. There should be organizations where actually there is lot of money, what lot of turnover going on, then only those organizations can afford strategic managers who can help them go into a positive life, into a futuristic life, into a long term thought process. NPOs or like trust, these people cannot afford the um, strategic managers. Coming down, we have long term benefit versus immediate results. So if we know the strategy is something which is always long term oriented, future oriented, it is futuristic, it is a game plan, it is a long blueprint. These all words are what, it is not coming in a single day. Once today, for example, today I say that you people start with a strategy of getting up in the morning at 5 and then doing yoga, doing an exercise, and then these are ways you can study these subjects. If I tell this and you do it for a day and then go into the exam, will it work? No, it requires lots of efforts, it requires lots of lots of dedication, devotion, and everything. It is not a single day process, it is a routine, it is a process which should be continued. It takes time, not one day. From one day you can never get results, right? And next, it impedes flexibility. What does it say? It says that there is it impedes the flexibility, speaks about there are sacrifices, gains, avoid temptations, means it says about it lacks innovation and creativity in some ways. But strategic management process has become very tool that inhibits the organization's ability to change and adopt. So these were some things which are advantages and disadvantages, which I think, I'm sure that you got a clarity. I feel advantages is more easier. Uh, Disadvantages, you just remember in this way: it impedes flexibility, it is a bit costly or expensive in nature. Then you can just remind of one more thing: is you do not get immediate results, or future is not anticipated. These are ways you remember, right? Now, coming to what are the strategic development routes? How a strategic man development routes, like what are the development routes, or the what are the ways our strategies can be implemented? So, if you see, these are five, these are five strategies which are there. First one is intended strategy, which says it is intending, it is knowingly making a strategy in that particular organization. It is required for a strategy to be made. Intended, it intends you to actually deliberately formulate a strategy. Okay, the word only suggesting intended strategy. Next comes realized strategy. What does it happen here? The strategy is made which is already achieved, which is already achieved, okay, which is already the organization is practicing it. Next, unrealized strategy, a strategy which is not realized, but or partially realized. Okay. Next comes imposed strategy. Imposed strategy means it is jabardasti, you're putting a strategy. Like our parents, jabardasti, they forcing strategy. Imposed means it's forcible. Okay, forcible by external to the organization, or by any agencies or anything, or by the government or anything. It can be any way, and that situation is imposing a strategy to be put. Emergent strategy, emergent means it comes from a response. Like, these are unplanned responses to unforeseen situations. Like, there are situations where it has, and that situation is emerging the strategy to be come out. Okay, so this can be a question. I feel this can be a question to remember. Now, coming to strategic fit and strategic stretch, this can be an MCQ. Now, I just want to explain you through a mobile phone example. When we have a phone, you remember this, you have a phone. Okay, in this phone, what happens is whenever you switch on a video in your phone, whenever you switch on a video, you have, if you want to stretch it off, stretch means what? The photos or video gets little bit like this, right? And the people also, the people will be straight, they'll be becoming like this, stretched, it will crack. But when you want fit means it will again reduce into the same size, same figure, and so, and then it show. In the same way, strategic fit and strategic stretch, what is it? It says about, see, strategic fit and strategic stretch. What it says about strategic fit. Remember, just write down this one, this thing. This is important. This is important. Strategic fit means it matches the resources and activities. Okay. Strategic stretch means stretching an organization resources and competency. It is going a little bit broad, little bit away from it, and it is stretching. It is widening its wings. Okay. And strategic fit means what? It identifies opportunities. Strategic stretch is an leverage, means it's an advantage over the older version. Then next comes is strategic fit is adapting resources and competencies. Strategic stretch is stretching the resources according to the availment of opportunities. This is important. Okay, please make a note. Got it? I hope you understood the example. Now coming to the framework. Strategic management framework. Strategic management framework means what? It is a guideline, okay, frame inside which it has some work which has been dedicated. Okay, that is what framework, a guideline, a proper layout, what happens and what should be done in every particular stage. Very, very important question. So how do you remember? First one, where we are, analysis of an present situation. Find out the present situation is the first point. Second, it's, you should have a goal setting and objective setting and objective setting. Okay, next comes is there are, find out different options and do the analysis, fix the best with the strengths of the organization, and then execute and implement. Now let us understand it into our present situation. Now first thing you understand is where we are. We are in CMA Inter, right? I'm giving you an example. CMA Inter. Where you want to go? You want to complete CMA. CMA, right? What are the different options and analysis? Different options is CMA Inter complete group 1, Inter group 2, and then final 1, final 2. And what you have to do, what are the different strategies is coaching, self study, live classes, library. Then you have what else? Virtual classes, face to face classes. Okay, then coming the last one is you have to implement, fix the best strategies and best alternatives. Okay, out of this, which one alternative you want to fix, you fix it and then implement it, put action on it. Understood? CMA Inter, CMA, then different options of analysis is, first thing is what are the ways of coming into goals and objectives is CMA Inter 1, 2, then foundation, final 1, final 2. What are the different various alternatives? The alternatives are, it can be live classes, it can be coaching, self practice, library, virtual class, face to face, and many others. Out of this, best alternative we have to select, and then after selecting we have to execute and implement. You understood? Easy. Now coming to the importance of strategic management. Importance of strategic management. Strategic management has lot of importance, boys and girls. Strategic management has lot of importance. First importance, very very easy importance is, as I said you, strategic management depends upon the internal and external dynamic environment, changing times, and it is being managed by the men with a lot of tactics. So what we have to understand is importance of strategic management speaks about the discovering or understanding your the organization strengths and weaknesses, making availability of different opportunities, and making sure that you are aware of the threats also. And then what happens? You need to discover, you need to understand what the goals of an organization are, what are the objectives, what actually can an organization do with its strengths and opportunities, and also make changes or increase the weaknesses into strengths and threats into opportunities. Then make a vision, mission, and bring a dynamic organization with a sustainable growth, means long term rapid development of the organization. So this is the way you understand importance of strategic management. If you're not able to understand, pause it there, repeat it with me, and then you understand. First, I made it easy for you by making this particular point. What SWOT, go to VM for organization. What is it in short? You have to do SWOT analysis, that is strengths and weaknesses of an organization. You have to discover, you have to find out what are the different opportunities and threats of our organization. Then also, then what you have to do, GO, means you have to like discover the goals and objectives in line with the strengths and weaknesses, in line with the strengths and opportunities. And then you have to make vision and mission. After making vision and mission, you need to go to the to build the best and organization by dynamic and strong organization, and also have an growing and sustainable growth organization. A stable, growing, sustainable growth should be there. Understood? SWOT, go to VM for organization. This is a shortcut. Fine. Now let's understand what is the process of strategic management. Till now, what we understood is the framework, advantages, disadvantages, strategic management, what is strategy, what is management, what are the features, what are characteristics, and all those. Now let's understand what is actually the process. What is the flow of what are the basic steps? What is the series of steps for the strategic management? So the strategic management has these processes. It's a beautiful and easy process. Do not have to worry. First thing we have to understand is identify the vision, mission, purpose, objectives. After identifying what you have to do, you have to do environmental analysis, that is SWOT analysis. That is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of an organization. You have to understand. You have to identify the strength. You have to identify, and you have to make sure there are, like, opportunities and possible threats also. Next, what happens? After doing an analysis of it, if you want, you need to also recheck, you need to revise the organizational direction. Like first thing is, I had a direction of making a pawn shop. But after making the SWOT analysis, I understood that the pawn shop will not be existing in this particular market properly. Now, what I do is I changed my pawn shop into a ice cream shop, so that I get more market, more people, and more students come, and there is better development of my organization. So I revise the organizational direction. After that, strategic choice is made. Strategic choice is made. Alternative strategic choice is made, where what happens, there is a SWOT analysis of this revised organizational direction. After that, the fifth point is strategic implementation. There are alternatives of how do we go ahead in this goal or objective. The implementation is done. After implementation, there is evaluation and control. If while evaluation and control you feel that there should be any changes, again it comes back to the first step, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and goes on. There is feedback, and then there is control, and again it goes back. You see, here it has been properly mentioned. First, what happens here? What happens first? First, there is business, mission, objectives, vision, everything is made. Okay. Then you have to do organization appraisal, means SWOT analysis. Environmental analysis also has to be done. After that, what has to be done? There is revised. If necessary, there is change in vision and mission, objectives, and many other things of that organization. After that, strategic alternatives and choices are being made. Then what happens? Then what happens, there is feed forward means this strategic choices and alternatives goes for implementation. In implementation stage is project, procedural, structure, behavioral, functional implementation. Then formulation is done, evaluation and control of strategy. After that, there is feedback. This feedback is done, and then again it goes to a process, and again it goes. This is a continuous process which goes. It is a very easy, very nice process. I'm saying you, once you read it, you will understand. Okay. So I hope you have understood what all we have done. Let me show you what we have done. Advantages of strategic management, we did it now. Disadvantages, we did it from our book. And then development routes, we have done. Different strategies we have done. Fit and strategic stretch, we have done. Then a framework we have done, and importance we are done. Many topics we have completed. The process of strategic management also we have done. Now we have is the mission statement, vision statement, and small points we have. The next class will do it. Okay. Thank you, and please make sure that you revise back to the next class. Thank you so much.